Oh, here we go. Hey, it's Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building. I'm sorry, guys. It's a bit of a wait, but I appreciate you guys standing by. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Hey, it's not that we've forgotten how to do this. We've only been away for like a week plus because I was in Taiwan having the time of my life. I will say this though, caveat, my bro. I haven't watched a lick of wrestling in about like 9-10 days. Which,
It's all
you
good,
know,
bro.
may or may not be a good thing. Once in a while, you need to detox even from the things you love, you know?
Okay, let's pick up right where we left off. I think right before we left the previous episode, we were previewing the Wednesday Night Wars, right? Per se? Correct?
Yeah. Wait. Actually, I just realized I lied. I straight up lied. The very first thing I said on the podcast, I lied.
What did you say, bro?
Because I did see wrestling, but it was all Japanese wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if do you remember my Insta stories?
Yeah, tell us about that. How did that come across on Taiwanese TV? Why was it Japanese wrestling there?
So sorry to have cut you off previously. We were talking about feuding GMs and stuff like that, and we will get to that whole idea, that story in just a bit. But first of all, it's good to see everybody. Let's give a shout out to Div Royalty, Haley, HS Lee, Aaron, Jason, Irvin. It's good to see y'all. Don't worry if you can't stick around. Hey, there's always the video on demand on YouTube and on Spotify, and of course, always, please, if you haven't already, come hang out on our Discord lah.
Yeah, bro, Discord is where it's popping. It's the best kept wrestling secret here in Singapore, man. Everyone just sharing weird shit over there. But much appreciated.
Absolutely. So, okay, here's the thing about Taiwan. And I remember this. This is not the first time I've been to Taiwan. I've been to Taiwan a long, long time ago. But I was younger. I went there with my dad. I don't remember anything, right?
Okay.
So, it's the type of visit that, like, you went and you just followed your dad around. This time, it's like me and my wife, and we were exploring things on our own, right? But what I did remember from my first visit to Taiwan was there's a 24-hour channel that shows wrestling. Japanese wrestling. And it's old wrestling. It's not like the up-to-date stuff. It's always like several years old. It reminds me of, do you remember the old days where we didn't get live Raw or SmackDown? We just got like tape delay. Sort of like
2 weeks later.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. This one, lucky was, this one is like 5 years later tape delay of Japanese wrestling. So I was like, okay, I wonder if this channel still exists. And it does, bro. It's called Channel Z. It's a different number on every different cable box, but it's called Channel Z, right? And here's the thing about Taiwanese culture, right? Yes, it's mostly Chinese, but they are very fascinated with American culture and Japanese culture. A lot of, if you look at their subway system, the way they sort of consume entertainment is very Japanese style, also very American hip-hop style, right? They love, bro, more people there play play basketball than they do soccer.
Yeah. So I'm very curious because I always see a lot of Taiwanese hip hop. Like you see, they're very American. Like JJ Lin, Jay Chou. Jay Chou, Taiwanese, right?
Yeah, he is Taiwanese. Yeah, they love American culture, like the hip hop culture.
I see. Okay, so tell me about this wrestling channel. Like, is this legit? Like all across Taiwan, they have this channel?
Yes, because every part of Taiwan that I went to had this channel, just at a different number or a number on the cable box lah, right? So okay, I thought it was just non-stop, nothing but wrestling. I was wrong. They also have some other weird programming in between. So it's like this very niche. It's a very niche channel, bro. So, okay.
Can I confirm or deny, is that a 24-hour adult channel, if you know what I mean?
But you need...
oh, dear God.
You need special codes for that, which, we didn't have. Obviously, we didn't try. But, I do remember the special adult channels as well. Yes, they do have that. So, it's very Americanized, right? But yeah, so this Channel Z will show just randomly Noah, New Japan, stuff I don't even know from like 10 years ago. So I was watching Shinsuke versus, I think it was Ibushi. I was like, whoa, what is going on?
Okay. That's like some early 2010s New Japan, perhaps, man.
Exactly. And then there was the match that I put up. Some of our listeners, hey, kudos to y'all. You knew who exactly that was. They were sending me messages like, oh, this is this match in Noah. I'm like, how the hell y'all knows, yeah?
Damn, man. Okay, we got legit Japanese wrestling fans, and clearly we are gonna be educated by a lot of them. Especially if we're gonna review Japanese shows in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. But look, there weren't that many flippy matches that I watched, but there's still the tropes. Let's chop each other till we die trope. but not sell anything trope. All that exists already in 2012.
Okay, I mean, I don't know whether that is technically traits of strong style,
Strong
but
style.
clearly there's a lot of Japanese like love to showcase their toughness in that way, right?
Oh, bro, they were doing German suplexes like concussions were not a thing, bro. They're just dropping each other on their head. Like, what the? This is 20. Okay, lah. To be fair, like I said, I was watching 2012 stuff. The last time I was in Taiwan, they were showing like early 2000s Misawa stuff, right? And that was even more brutal. I remember that seared, memories into my brain where they were literally dropping each other on their heads.
Bro, Misawa matches are brutal. I'm not sure if anyone in the chat can educate us. I remember that somebody like died in the ring from taking like a botch neck breaker or suplex or power driver or something like that, right? It's one of the
legit like paralyzed lah, basically.
No, like someone died in the ring. Like,
wow.
Yeah, legit. Like one of the big wrestlers from the 90s. I can't remember who. Kawada or something. I don't know.
It sounds very familiar. I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I can't place the name. Somebody in chat, please let us know. Educate us, okay? But so that's my whole story about Japanese wrestling in Taiwan. So if you love old school Japanese wrestling, go and look up Channel Z. In between wrestling, they will have weird like old period dramas from Japan.
Okay.
As well as this is the weirdest show I've ever seen, right? Oh, it was Misawa.
Misawa who died?
Who died? Oh, wow. Okay, in the ring. Okay. From one of these incredible, I'm glad they don't do that stuff, hopefully, anymore. But in between, okay, and this is very weird. This is totally not related to wrestling, but it's kinda. Anyway, so imagine like an anime show, right? But it's not animation. It's puppets. And I was like, I have never seen anything like this in my life. So it's these very elaborate, imagine anime-style puppets. And, they're doing their moves. I don't know what the hell they're saying, obviously. They're speaking Japanese. The subtitles are in Chinese. Like, both sides of those I don't understand, right? And then there's like special effects going on in the background. Explosions and flying through the galaxy. I'm like, but they're doing it with puppets. I'm like, this is freaking fascinating. Like I said, this channel is very niche, bro. Very niche.
I'm assuming that is like things from the past, right? It's not like they're putting out current programming with that, with puppets, right?
And plus, this same channel has a fishing show. So I'm like, what is going on?
You can really know a lot about culture by watching their television once you're there.
Absolutely. You watch our television, you know we're very boring. Anyway, that's why we turn to YouTube for things, right? But okay. So that's my whole wrestling related, story from Taiwan.
Bro, look at us talking about Japanese wrestling and Misawa to start off the program.
I know.
We're becoming more cultured, Mr. Young.
Yes, wrestling. No, it's just that I had this little experience with it. Yes, it's the super high quality puppet, Sarah. It's good to see you as well, by the way. Seriously, Sarah.
Awesome. It's a nice shout out to see all the Grapplemax fam on our chat. I know all of you guys I wouldn't say salivating a bit too much putting myself too over but you guys are interested to hear what we have to say.
Yes.
And my job here is to update you, Mr. Young, and tell you about how Amplify went.
That's correct. Unfortunately, I was literally flying back the night of Amplify. I was in a plane, in the sky, while the guys and gals were throwing each other on the mat. So I will have to hand it to you, my bro. Fill me in on what happened at Grapplemax Amplify this past weekend.
All right, awesome. So I wanted to kind of like preface this by saying that, okay, so now all of you Grapplemax people, SPW people, if I were to come to your show, right, and I bring my girlfriend, right, that's because I really sayang her, bring her on a nice date, make sure she's happy, then I can bring her to a wrestling show and I can enjoy myself. You know what I mean?
Oh my god.
So you all must appreciate if
she still hasn't embraced the wrestling life, is it?
Bro, you're married to a non-wrestling fan. You know what I mean? You will understand.
Yeah. It is a task, It's a task. It's something else, huh?
For them to come is the expression of love for us. You know what I mean? They can be doing anything else in the world, but they choose to be there. Yeah. I had to play my birthday card some more, Mr. Young.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because my birthday is this Sunday. It's like literally I was like, for my birthday, can you follow me watch wrestling?
Wow.
You have to use that kind of card.
Wow, you had to pull that card, bro.
Yeah. But the point is, right, but once we are there, she's great. She's a pro because she does graphic design and she does content producing like me as well. So she's in terms of like, filming and stuff, like it was a good to have like that as my backup because
Sure.
since you weren't around, she was actually helping to film a lot of the stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll be investing in some gear, so like wireless mic all settled, bro. So like we can sub in and out anytime I want to interview wrestlers after the show.
Nice.
Settle already, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, so the of course this was the second time I was here at the Grapplemax Studios. The first time we did the podcast, right? And very, very, very interesting because I feel like Grapplemax has returned to its spiritual home. Not exactly Geylang, but like, in that area, right? Paya Lebar area.
Yeah.
Because I think one of the biggest things about moving to the east, right? When they did their show at at Tampines was like, I think they alienated a lot of the West Sider fans, right? I mean,
the Westies.
The Westies, right? You gotta look out for the Westies, man. All these people who travel all the way from Choa Chu Kang and Jurong to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
So I think generally Paya Lebar I think is better. But one thing, bro, it feels like when I was bringing my girlfriend to the place, right? I took like 137 bus. I don't know what bus we took lah. Bringing her into this industrial area at 7:30 p.m. on a Saturday night feel very seedy, bro. I thought she thought probably I was gonna like bring her to some drug den or something, but
it's not exactly central, I get it, but also at the same time, you can imagine how much rent would be in a more accessible place, right? So it makes sense for what they're trying to do. At the end
but
of the
maybe
day.
That's the charm of the place, right?
Oh yeah.
You kind of got this feeling like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Where, you hear stories in the US where people go to like a very seedy part of town to watch like an ECW show or Philadelphia show. So yeah, we were getting the same vibe. So like the mood was a bit sad because it was completely quiet outside on the weekend on the industrial area. It was like, okay, where are we? And then the moment I remember we went up the lift, then suddenly got this one nice Chinese gentleman came in and I was like, hey, hi, going to level 4? Yeah, level 4. And then he looked at me like, going to the wrestling? And I'm like, wrestling. Oh,
hey, not bad. Got Usher, some more say.
No, bro, he was one guy who was trying to get to the show as well. He going in to figure out how to get to the place.
Right.
Yeah. So like it's very communal feeling. And I think we came in a bit earlier, so we could see some of the wrestlers mulling around.
Yeah.
I got to say hi to everyone while they were like stretching up and getting ready. And we missed their first show, right? I think the one where they had the what do you call it? The pineapple.
The Onglai. The rolling show, yeah.
Yeah. So we missed that, but like I think that was like my first time kind of get a sensing of like how much capacity crowd they could pack in for the show, right? I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, Greg, if you're on the chat, right? Probably almost 100. I think probably at least I could count almost 100 probably people there.
Compare it to Juchiet and to the oh my god, I forgot the trampoline place. Gym Craft. Trampoline place. The trampoline place. Yeah, compare it to Juchiet versus the Gym Craft, the vibe, the feeling.
Yes. Well, okay, I will. Here's how I would describe all the 3 locations so far. I mean, we didn't go to the very first one, but Juchiat was small, everything was cramped up, but there was a vibe, right? It was
definitely.
The whole feeling of going into like almost like a stilt house and like having you right up at the mat.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, you're definitely up close to the action. So
correct.
That's pretty dope. I would say in terms of comfort level, for sure, the Tampines Gymcraft one felt like a very open space. Yep. You felt comfortable, right?
Did it feel too open? And we talked to Greg about that, right? Like, there's the wrestling thing and there's like people jumping up and down the trampoline over the other side. Like there's so much stuff going on.
Yes, correct. So that was the point I was about to make. I felt like as nice and open the space was, I don't think it's conducive in terms of creating the kind of sound that you want from a wrestling show, especially when it echoes all the way around, right?
Bro, you know what this reminds me of actually? Like where you have this small little area of wrestling and everywhere else there's nobody. You know what it reminds me of? AEW currently. Okay, anyway, please go. Have you seen the photos, bro? Have you seen the photos of Edge mimicking and pointing at like empty seats? Oh my god. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't laugh. That's just terrible for him. He doesn't deserve this. But
we'll talk about AEW in a bit, yeah. So let's not get distracted, Mr. Young.
I had to slip that in though. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Of course. Yeah, but you're right? That's the even issue with soccer stadiums, right? You have a huge Covenant stadium, but only like it seats capacity 10,000 and only like 500 people come in.
You're right.
And what I mean? It doesn't really create an atmosphere. You rather have a smaller space and then you pack 1,000 or less people in, but like you can feel the atmosphere. So I thought like the current Grapplemax studio has the best of both worlds because it is comfortable,
Mm,
nice space, air condition. But also it was small enough where I felt like it was still intimate enough for the crowd.
yeah,
You can I think the crowd was very, very invested. And
got you.
not just the noisy parts where people were cheering and all that.
Mm.
I'll talk about the match later, but some of the quiet parts where it was really like a Japanese crowd where we were really appreciating the
Oh,
technical display that was on hand, right?
okay.
If those of you were there, you know which match I'm gonna talk about for that.
Mm,
Yeah, so like let's start right in, man. Let's talk about the card, right? So we started off with on what do you call it? Announcing duties for
okay.
the day. It wasn't Sean Rick, but it was Joseph.
Oh, so he's pulling double duty because he's got a match as well.
Yeah, so
So
Joseph was hilarious because he started off the show. You know, he was doing all the announcing, talking about sign up for the membership. Like giving all the pre-event. So
preambles, yeah.
the preambles, right? That's what you call it. And then after that, he started. Then he was like, going into the ring." Then he like giving the huge hype. Then it's Joseph. Then he just he ran up, bro. Okay, so yeah, Joseph is pretty cool. Pretty cool story for those who didn't know. Like he's I think he's one of the older people that's part of the show.
Mm,
He helps out a lot with operational, a lot of the backstage stuff. But I think only starting to wrestle only pretty recently.
yep.
So we haven't gotten a chance to really like kind of know or really understand his character per se. But one thing he did very different from this show, bro. I don't know whether he changed his look recently, but this guy went full on Kurt Angle botak, bro.
Well, okay, so he's already had the straps, sort of that wrestling
The red
tights
singlet.
gear. Yeah, the singlet.
Yes.
Yeah. And then yes, I saw on their social media. By the way, shout out to whoever's doing the graphics on their social media. You can definitely tell that the bar has been raised. Is it Nashwan?
I don't know whether it's Najwa. He wasn't there, but um for in terms of the video production, a
Yeah.
lot of it is Remus. So shout out to him because a lot of
Mm.
the videos that the pre-packages, they played some of the packages before each match. So like I really felt like people who didn't know what's going on, they could kind of get a sensing of the story. So
Right.
like that
I
was
mean,
pretty dope.
take a look at the poster right here. Like,
Yeah, it's damn nice.
we're raising the game here. That's what's happening, right?
Yeah, for sure. Elevating the game. Well, we can talk about the match. So, like, for in terms of Joseph's, right? Like, clearly his character definitely has some homage to Kurt Angle, for sure, right?
Ah.
But he was up against, very interestingly, Sean, one half of Aussie.
Okay, so we have two beloved baby faces going off here, going against each other here.
So yeah, so that's what I thought, right? So like
Yeah.
Aussie. I'm not sure what happened to YC. He wasn't around. So Sean had like a singles match, and me and my girlfriend, we love Australia. So like, I think by default we will just support him lah. We were saying all
Right.
the Aussie chants, blah blah blah. But once the match started, right, I almost felt like Sean was almost heel. Like,
Okay.
yeah, so I think maybe they came into the match as baby faces, but I think in the course of the match, they kind of like decided, okay, the dynamic, the heel face dynamic will be like between Sean as the heel and Joseph almost as like this. It's almost like our Alpha Academy guy. What's his name?
Otis.
No, not Otis. My head
Chad.
just went blank. Yeah,
Gable.
Chad. He's giving me Chad Gable vibes in terms of like his fire, right? Like, yeah. So
YC was in Malaysia, by the way.
Oh,
And
is
yes,
it?
It
Okay,
was
okay.
it was Najwan who did the graphics.
Cool. Shout out to Najwan as always, amazing work. Yeah. So Joseph had a incredibly hilarious chant being shouted at him, bro.
Okay.
You know what it was?
What?
It was use your head.
What?
Use your head. Bro, his head was so botak and so shiny. It's like that guy from Dragon Ball Z, the one with the freaking head. Is it? I forgot which character. The one that literally
Right.
Head attacks all the way, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was amazing. I guess in terms of getting the crowd to maybe just for his just such a stark appearance, you can't
Right.
help but like, okay, this guy, okay, I kind of know what he's all about just by his appearance. So shout out to pro tip for wrestlers, that's trying to create an impression. Really go over the top or really dial into your character to make sure you leave a lasting impression, especially
Sure.
for people who didn't know.
Sure.
Yeah. So like, and of course, I will share with you my girlfriend's hot take for every single match. Again, like my girlfriend was saying, this guy's head, really distracting. But I feel like it's a great gimmick to play around. Like they literally base the match around he using the head to get the pop.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I enjoyed that back and forth. I felt Sean was a bit, maybe because we haven't seen much wrestle much as a singles wrestler. We've seen YC challenge for the title as a singles wrestler, but Sean, I feel like maybe he was relying a bit on his gimmick a bit too much. The Aussie, but his own character, I didn't get the impression of what he was all about just by this. But maybe he's like having a Carl Fletcher situation on AEW, like he got no partner, just wrestling matches, right? So yeah. But I felt this was more of a showcase for Joseph, and Joseph did well, and he got the victory as well. So shout out to him.
Very nice. Okay, second match. Is this the internship match? Oh wait, hang on. Do we want to play the interview with Joseph before we move on?
Of course, yes. Let's play the interview with Joseph to kind of get a sensing. He'll share more about what he's all about. All right, guys. Live again from Amplify, right? So we didn't know that Singapore has their own Kurt Angle, bro. Introducing Joseph.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Okay, I mean, I was so impressed by you because you were pulling double duty today. You were doing announcing work as well, and you were wrestling the opening match. So, can you tell us what's the transition like?
It is distracting.
Wow, I'm still figuring it out. I asked myself that question tonight. I mean, it's just having I guess adopting Greg's mindset or Dave's mindset, our coach's mindset, because they have to see the whole show.
Yeah.
They have to think about the whole show. So yes, I have to think about the match, but then after that, you have to switch gears, and you're thinking about different points of the show again. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Cool. And then one thing is, for those who are, knows about the podcast, knows about Grapplemax, they know you more of like a behind the scenes guy, helping with like the operations and logistics. So what about this wrestling itch that you're trying to scratch? Is this something that it's always been a dream of yours?
It's always been a dream. I think I think backstage in the ring, I want to do it all, see how far I go, and it's that's the best part about wrestling is if you're not in the ring, doesn't mean you can't tell that story, doesn't mean you can't be a important part of what's going on.
All right, also, okay, last question. For those of you who didn't know about Joseph, the wrestler, Joseph, the character, right? Can you tell us something about what you're trying to portray in your story of Joseph?
Wow. I'm trying to portray that I might be pushing 40, but I'm chasing my dreams.
Pushing 40,
and
wow.
I'm learning how far my body can go, how far I can prove myself in the ring.
Also, as LA Knight would say, yeah! Nice, thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Wait, did you just quote LA Knight randomly there?
Yeah.
Jason says, Foreign, you need to stand wide-legged to make the wrestler look taller.
Alamak, sorry lah.
Yeah, you too tall, bro. You too tall. You cannot. It's like, the WWE, all the announcers must be short, so the wrestlers look big.
Next time I must get on my knees lah. Next time, get on your knees.
Okay, well there you go. With that visual in my head, let's move on to the next match, bro. What are we looking at?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I hope you appreciate the LA Knight call out because the fact that he's like an older gentleman,
right?
Finally on the come up. So yeah, shout out to Joseph. Yeah. So the next match is very, very interesting, my friend. Because right, first of all, we all love Showtime here on the podcast. For those who do not know, Foreign does their theme song. And I would like to appreciate and show my appreciation for them because, bro, they played my theme song 4 times, bro, during the show.
Wait, why 4 times?
You know why not? Because the next match, right, bro, it's a Showtime Civil War, bro.
Okay.
The Civil War. So apparently there's some trouble brewing in the faction. We have Julian and Prabhu trying to hold things down, and we got this like a bit of a wild card. I was calling him Dean Ambrose. He was giving me Dean Ambrose vibes. We're talking about Sean because Sean apparently is like they're having some trust issues within their faction, and we got our guy Showtime trying to hold things down, but like it ain't happening, man.
Right.
Things are crazy. It literally feels like a bloodline situation.
Okay, you're talking about Sean P. Diddy, of course, and there's some sort of an intern involved as well.
Yes, correct. So it's if that's not enough, bro, they having their own JD McDonough situation, bro. So we got this one guy, Kelvin. Never met him before, didn't really know much about him, but apparently I think he's a uni student, and he literally is doing his internship with Grapplemax, bro.
Is he really?
Bro, I don't know. Okay, this is where the lines are blurred. I do not know whether he's for real, whether he's legit, whether he literally go to his uni lecture and he's like, I want to do my internship at Grapplemax, and they think it's like a production company.
Yeah.
No idea, bro. But if they really knew what he was going through on day-to-day basis, I think maybe MOM might need to have a word with Showtime.
Bro, kayfabe,
yes.
bro. This is legit. This is all,
Yes, for sure.
entertainment.
Yes, my very first for sure. So yeah, so Calvin, I think so they had a very nice, hilarious package right before the show, kind of like setting the stage. And yeah, so it was apparently like a second chance attempt for this Calvin to like kind of pass his internship and to to technically be able to get the approval to go and join Showtime.
Right.
So essentially this was a tag team match, and Calvin was teaming up with Sean, and they were both against the other two, and both of them came out to Showtime's theme song.
Right.
So it's literally like Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy, and then they both of them came out to the Hardy Boys song.
Correct. Same song, yeah.
Yeah. So it was hilarious in that way. But this Calvin, because technically he's not technically part of Showtime, so I think he came out with his own generic music. Boo! Must play the foreign music, bro. Come on, what's this? Terrible.
You make some music for him, lah, bro. You make some music for him.
Cannot. I don't think his internship pay can afford my
prices,
right.
An international, a foreign artist.
Okay. Yeah. So that was basically the whole scenario, right?
Yeah.
Basically, it really was like cinema, bro. This was the most story-driven match.
Okay.
On one hand, you got this very blur intern who's like trying to make an impression, trying his hardest, and then he got like this very wild, unpredictable, crazy guy who apparently loves his Coke Zero, bro.
Okay.
So one thing, halfway through the match, bro, this Prabhu taunted him with a Coke Zero, and this guy just suddenly just walked out of the match, like, give me my Coke Zero, and then he like just walked out all the way out of the ring. And that's how they took him out of the equation for the majority of the match.
Okay.
Yeah, true. He basically baited him in Coke Zero, threw him out of the freaking arena, and he walked out, and then he was just gone for most of the match.
So what, you basically had Prabhu and Julian just beat the crap out of this intern wannabe lah?
Yes, correct. It was a 2-on-1 situation for most of the show. So the whole time, Showtime was by ringside. Val was kind of calling the shots, taking Instagram stories. I have no idea what he was filming. It was a whole situation. It was highly entertaining. For those people that were there, you know what I mean.
Okay.
And then finally, Sean made the Sandman comeback. Sandman ECW comeback,
Sure.
Where he, out of nowhere, he come back. He was holding the Rotan. Not the Rotan, the old school Rotan, the feather duster Rotan.
Oh, right.
Yeah, man. So I guess Sandman had a Singapore cane, but Sean had like the feather duster. So,
yeah.
That was what was happening. So he came in, whack house like he was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and eventually, against all odds, the intern got the victory, bro.
Oh, wow. Okay, wait. So I'm reading the sort of the match, the match card here. It says second chance internship. So I assume that there was a first chance that didn't pan out. So this is like the story is like they're trying to kind of push him almost like a baby face. Like he's trying to get into the group, but he's not getting into the group. So, he finally makes it in. Was there a pop for that?
Yeah, for sure. I think the crowd really kind of bought into the story, and I feel like, Calvin, that guy, okay, he's an intern, but that motherfucker is shredded lah, bro.
Okay,
looking good, bro. I think maybe he will get all the YP girls. He and Jordan might have to fight it out for the girls lah.
Oh, okay. Is he the new Oppa now?
He possibly could be because he looked damn nerdish during the promo on the screen but without the specs he looked like Peter Parker. When Peter Parker got shredded,
right?
Same vibes.
Right, there you go.
Yeah. So against all odds, he got a victory, and you know what, Calvin? I think there's a potential there because I think he gets it. He gets what wrestling is all about. I think he's playing into his character. This is like just to be real. Really enjoyed the story, and I feel like this Showtime, they are really the Judgment Day of the company right now. They are
Right.
kind of like their story is overarching, and as I'll share with you during the main event, during the co-main event, I mean, yeah, Showtime is they are gonna. I think they are almost embarking on the start of a bigger war than their civil war.
Right. Div Royalty says at some point Prabhu thought Julian hit him with the cane and left. Okay, so like you alluded
yes.
to earlier, there's a lot more sort of like will they break up? Are they going to get back together? What's going on? Misunderstanding, sort of that idea, that vibe, right?
Correct. Yeah. So even between Julian and Prabhu, there was some miscom that led to him walking out, and of course Kelvin taking advantage of the situation, getting the victory as well.
Right. Okay. You spoke with Kelvin and Prabhu. Let's see what went down here.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Foreign in the building once again. We are here with a brand new face from Grapple, never really seen before. Can you please introduce yourself, sir?
Hi, my name is Kelvin, and I started pro wrestling at Grapplemax 6 months ago.
Awesome. Okay, first of all, wow. Are you okay, brother? Are you okay?
I'll live.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so for those of you who are unaware, apparently Showtime is kind of like recruiting. I didn't know they were accepting job applications. Can you tell me how do you get involved in this, and how did you send your resume for Showtime?
Well, the Singapore working industry is very competitive nowadays, so I needed an internship that was unique and provided excellent opportunities. So where better than the best tag team and best faction in Singapore than Showtime Inc.
Awesome. Okay, so can I just confirm which university you're from and what you're studying?
I'm currently in NTU. I'm a year 2 business student.
Awesome. So business and wrestling is a pretty interesting cross section right here. Can you tell me what's the biggest thing you've learned from Showtime so far?
Well,
did I give you permission to talk?
Oh.
I'm just promoting.
Yeah. You know what? Pack our bags. Now, go. Kids these days.
I have no idea. He just suddenly like barged in and wanted to be interviewed.
He barged
I'm
in.
so sorry.
Right, fair enough. Okay, you know what? I don't have time for this because I've got bigger fish to fry. So, HR, handle it.
HR. Prabhu is HR. Okay, let's hear from HR.
Let's go.
Prabhu, I didn't know you were HR.
I am head of the human resources.
Human resources in
resources,
Showtime.
right? Yes, that's it.
Okay, can I just give a shout out to Showtime because you guys played our team music 3 times tonight.
Yeah, and in fact, you should have been there at the last show because we played it like 4 times at the last show. Which really highlights the need we need either new theme songs or your song is so over.
Oh, thank you.
Fans, yeah.
Okay,
It's a great song.
sorry, I'm gonna put myself over a bit one more time. For the 7th anniversary show, right? I feel like we need to perform the song live, lah.
Oh.
That is true. Yeah, I
just
think it would be a great live entrance if you could perform the song live.
Yeah, I would definitely love that.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I'm head of human resources, not logistics.
Okay.
So you need to speak to the man himself.
I'll speak to the right person, lah. Okay. So back to the business at hand. So Showtime apparently is having some sort of civil war going on. What's happening, bro?
Everything is fine in Showtime Inc.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Alright.
Yeah. But on the way, it's been pretty wild because Showtime Inc. has actually been around for like over 1 year now.
Yeah.
As of August, yeah. So it's been pretty wild to see like how the group has progressed and all that. I didn't think it was gonna last this long, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, bro, you're looking ripped, bro. I mean, like, is that Showtime diet? Like, why?
It is. Yeah. Showtime is he has high standards, so you gotta meet those standards, you know.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing is like, unfortunately, like you guys took a loss today. I mean,
I don't know if we lost. I wasn't there. I walked out.
oh yeah, okay.
I walked out. Yeah.
Technically,
Don't waste my time, really.
Alright, okay. So like looking ahead, 7th anniversary show, Showtime might potentially, from what we saw, could be embroiled in some sort of faction war. Like, I mean, what's the future for Showtime right now? What's going on?
I think Showtime Inc. has been, as Val said, running this joint.
Yeah.
And Inglorious, they seem to think in their heads that they're making a comeback, but really, Showtime Inc. runs Grapplemax, and you're going to see more of that at Anniversary.
Alright, thank you, props. I'm not sure whether should I ask you whether I can talk to Sean or maybe we should end the interview here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we can call this. Sean is on personal leave.
Personal leave.
Yeah, but thanks for coming. We always appreciate
For
it.
sure, man. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Showtime right there, awesome.
Oh, I love it. You guys sound like you're having so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, everyone's starting to plant seeds for the 7th anniversary show already. You all are very smart. You all.
Which
very,
I'm
very
very excited for, by the way, because the one big match that they did announce so far, right, for the 7th anniversary show. Let's pull that up right now. There you go, Jordan versus Dick Togo. Poor Jordan lah. What did he do to deserve this, man?
I think maybe that's why he needed this month off. I think he really need to go training. He really need to go to the mountain and find
rest.
himself, bro.
Yeah. Build the resistance, because he's gonna get. He's gonna get destroyed. Anyway, yes. or maybe not. Maybe he'll show us a thing or two. All right, let's move on with the rest of the card. What else do you have for us?
All right, so the next match: student versus teacher, student versus mentor. We have Simon here. Really incredible talent. I think he's caught our eyes. We were talking about how he reminded me of Leo Rush in terms of his athleticism.
Yeah.
And of course against the be-all and end-all of Grapplemax, the end boss himself, Gregory. Yeah, Gregory.
Yes.
Again, shout out to Remus or whoever that put together the package. I think you've seen it on social media as well. Really, really great job telling the story of Simon, how he's a Malaysian kid who makes the effort to travel all the way from the Causeway down to Grapplemax to train and to get better at his craft, his sacrifices that he made. The crowd really got invested because of that. Like, wow, this guy really traveled all the way, come Singapore to train in wrestling. Like, we're gonna respect that, right?
Right.
Immediately, you really want to root for him, right? So that's really, really smart. And they also told the story of how previously they actually had a one-on-one encounter last year between Greg and Simon. But of course, at that point in time, Simon wasn't really right. He put on a great fight, but of course, end boss got the victory. So now we set the stage for this match. And when both of them came into the ring, you could feel a difference, a hush in the crowd, because this was the match I was alluding to earlier, where the fans really appreciated the technical display on show, right?
Okay.
So we know how Greg's MO is, right? Start slow, do chain wrestling, get the crowd invested in the technical aspect first. And of course, he started off with that, and like the crowd was silent, and we both appreciate the Bret Harts of the world, taking the leg, having a bit of like focusing on this body part, that body part, and counters to counters to counters. So that if you see Greg's most recent Instagram post, I think he took a clip of one of the chain wrestling sequences that he did, that really the crowd was silent, and when he got on top of the guy, and like the crowd literally applauded. Like, it was cool that we had the fans here in Singapore who could really appreciate the technical wrestling that was on hand. So yeah, that was pretty dope as well. Even my girlfriend beside me, she was like, "Oh, that was really cool. That was really cool." So like, it just goes to show you can get people invested just by great wrestling, right?
Right.
Yeah. So other than that, again, it was highly technical, but it was also incredibly intense. Both guys weren't holding back, man. I mean,
nice.
First of all, Greg has a huge size advantage over Simon, right? But he beat him like he owed him money. Yeah. He freaking slapped the shit out of me. Right. And they were red, halfway through the match, and Simon wasn't letting up as well. Like, he was giving him right back, you could tell, like, the chest, the just from the chops, just from the incredibly stiff shots that they were throwing at each other. Yeah. People were really invested. Yeah.
Did Simon take to the skies as well? Because he does have arsenal of high flying moves.
So yeah, there was this one very scary moment where, like, I think Simon he had Greg on his hand, and the one where you run out like Eddie Guerrero style, you run up the turnbuckle to try to like flip and like maybe go into a hurricanrana or whatnot. But he went up to the turnbuckle, he walked the ropes, and he wanted to do a bit like the commander style, where he like jump on the second rope, drop on the second rope, and then jump, spring back up on the first rope.
Right.
Want to do all that, but I think when he was going down the second rope, he kind of lost balance, and then maybe they abandoned the move, or they halfway I'm not gonna try to figure out the secrets of how they pull it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think maybe halfway through they abandoned the move, and like, just in interest of safety, they did something else to kind of like finish it up. But eventually, yes, he did a lot of dope cross bodies. He ran out and he eventually managed to pull off a Hurricanrana. But I like that he only kind of unleashed his aerial offense towards the end of the match it was building out, it was climaxing to the end. Then it was when it was really dramatic, then it makes sense to pull off all these high five.
Yeah, of course. Like sort of like that last ditch effort, the cherry on top, like obviously this is not flippy floppy wrestling that you watched. I had to get my Young Bucks dig in, but there you go.
Yeah, I mean, kick to the gut. I think we have been very clear, what the kind of wrestling we like. But I think Grapplemax, in some respects, we are aligned because I know Mr. Young, you have your issues with their forearms and forearms. I know you do have that.
Oh, hey! You know the wrestling that I was watching on Taiwan TV, right?
Yeah.
There was this spot. I was like, I almost felt like tweeting out, "Can you guys do this?" but I didn't. It was like these two guys just slapping the shit out of each other. Like legit, they were slapping each other. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. You're right. I think maybe people from Grapplemax might have taken some inspiration from them because some of the matches we all were slapping each other, like slapping them like until no tomorrow like that. So
nice. Did you manage to actually speak to N Boss? Hey, who picked up the win here? By the way.
Oh, okay. Yes. So sorry, we were so distracted talking about the show. So it was actually an upset, bro.
Wow.
So the final sequence was really, really cool because Simon countered Greg's crossface into a surprise roll up, right? So before that, Greg does this thing where he does kind of almost like a Tiger Driver kind of vibe where he has people in the pedigree, lifts him up and like kind of dumps him down.
Yeah.
And people thought that was the end because that really looked like
it.
Yeah, but that was one of the best false finishes of the night. Simon kicked out, and then Greg, being Greg, immediately went on about and tried to finish off a crossface. But I think just the opportunity arose for Simon to kind of take advantage and counter into a surprise roll up, and he got the victory. So so the student got the victory over the teacher in this instance. Great job.
Big upset there. Did you manage to speak to N Boss actually? Because I mean, I know you didn't get to like record him or anything like that because I actually do want to ask him, and I know he's in chat right now, about that whole Asia Pacific Pro Wrestling Alliance thing. Remember we saw that on social media? Did you manage to talk to him about that at all?
We didn't get a chance. That completely slipped my mind. I didn't talk to him about that.
Right.
But he did say, please come again and do the podcast at their studio because I think they have the equipment for it now.
Yeah. Okay, we definitely will. Yeah, we want to find out more about this thing that they're doing with New Japan, Stardom, setup. What is that? DFW? Is that? And then Puzzle?
Yeah. Okay, so for the 7th anniversary show, which is like somewhere in mid-November, maybe we can plan out. Perhaps we can, get everyone on the show again right before to promote that show.
For sure.
Yeah, so for sure. Yeah. Definitely spoke to Greg, but off the record. But yeah, he did say we are invited to come and do the podcast there.
By the way, I just got the confirmed card. Well, 7th anniversary. Yeah, I do have the card from Greg. He just sent it to me. So we'll talk about this in just a bit once we wrap up the review of Amplify. But okay, let's move on to the next match. The special. Wait. Oh, there's more.
There's one thing we
Tell me more.
say. We didn't talk about, bro.
Okay.
So at the end of the match, Simon got his rub, celebrating. Simon left the ring. Greg was like, we were thanking him, thank you, Greg, blah, blah, blah. And then, sneak attack, bro. Sneak attack from the back from my favorite guy. Remember what I was saying? This Showtime trying to invade all storylines? Bro, fell, attack Greg from the back. And I have no idea whether they're really going to go through with this, but it seems like a tease for finally they're going to do a faction war, bro.
Okay, Inglorious versus Showtime.
It seems like it's going into that.
Right.
Pretty dope. Yeah, so
I like it.
I like it as well. I was like, I got goosebumps on my nipples, bro. I was like, telling my girlfriend, yo, my nipples, man. Damn. Yeah.
Did you hear that, by the way? Showtime and Greg, you gave my man goosebumps
nipple
on his
chills.
nips.
Nipple chills.
All right.
Nipple chills. Oh dear God. Okay. So let's better move on before
this
gets R-rated.
We already crossed that bridge. Let's talk about the special tag team match right now. Christian and Sarah versus Ban and Ryan. Wait, who is this Ryan fella? It's not referee Ryan, is it?
No, it's not referee. It's a new guy. I have no idea who he is as well. Okay, so this match came right after they had like a intermission. So right after Greg's match, there was an intermission, and then they returned with this match.
Yep.
So Ban and Ryan, we don't really know much about Ryan. Of course,
Ryan
Ban
excuse me, but I'm like looking at this picture of Ryan. I'm like, hey, handsome boy, huh? Who is this fella?
Yeah, he's cool. I mean, I can't really.
Ryan, the great one. Is he the one who was in that match with Greg like 2 events ago? That I was like, wait a minute, is this a disguise graduation match?
Oh, the one that you were on the card, right? You were watching it?
Okay, yeah. That was the one I went to. Okay, now I remember him.
Okay. Well, for this particular event, I'm sorry, Ryan, but you didn't make an impression on me.
Oh, okay.
But again, because I felt like this was the only match where I felt it was a bit too short.
Oh,
I felt like and if you guys shout out to Christian and Sarah, because I interviewed them after the match, you can watch the full interview on our TikTok channel. We're not gonna play it here because I kind of like felt like you really need to watch it. Yeah, you guys, since it's already out there, you guys go watch it on your own. Okay.
Yeah.
But the one of the things that Christian was talking about, right, off the record as well, was that, you know, because it was a mixed tag match, right? And as a mixed tag match, there's only so much you can do if you have a girl in the ring, right? And I think generally they were very respectful in terms of the boundaries of how they wrestle the match. But the point is, I think Sarah she's strong, right?
Yep.
She's like low-key strong. She can't. I don't think, because of her size, doesn't really make sense to make her as like this underdog.
Okay.
There's only so many times you can make like a huge big size like I don't know who is a believable baby face from underneath who is like a huge big size person. I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't ring true. Sort of in that sort of visual, when you look at it, you go, this doesn't make sense, right? Is that what you're trying to say?
They tried to do it with Nia Jax against Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania 34, where Nia Jax was the babyface in that situation. But I think maybe so. There's 2 things working against them in this match. One is like the restrictions around Sarah in terms of like how you should wrestle a girl in that situation, and of course Sarah being that she's actually strong and badass and she can actually beat you up if you want to. So technically that encourages the match to be more physical if it could be, but they can't because of the restrictions. You get the conundrum.
Yeah, I do. I mean, at the end of the day, right? If you had like another female wrestler, I think maybe this match would have been slightly. I don't know. I don't know if better is the word, or like
no.
They could have expressed themselves more.
Yes, correct. So previously, remember they had this mixed tag match a year back where it was I believe it was Greg and Sarah, or was it Lady Killer and Sarah against Shaukat and Phoenix.
Yes.
Phoenix, yeah, right. So like that was cool because like, you know, we had more opportunities for Sarah to wrestle with another female counterpart. But I believe from what Christian is saying that they are trying to introduce more women in Grapplemax, or I think they are all in training or they haven't had their showcase matches yet. And that some of them might have taken a break and might be coming back. So I think until the division kind of like, what do you call it, fills out a bit, we'll have such scenarios where they kind of have to figure out where best to place Sarah in this situation. But again, that being said, Sarah and Christian, I love their chemistry. They had awesome matching gear, like they look incredible together. And it seems like they're gonna go ahead with this tag team for the foreseeable future. So I'm just excited on how they gonna go about it, whether they're gonna introduce more women into the matches.
Well, you talk about returning, and I have the card for the 7th anniversary show, and we'll get to that in just a bit. But yes, there apparently will be more of a tag team between Sarah and Christian because they have another mixed tag team to go up against.
Finally, yeah.
So there you go. So maybe those issues that you brought up won't be so much of an issue come the 7th anniversary. But all right, let's talk about the main event. It's time for the main event of the evening. We got Big Dave, we got Wildfire Remus. This one is for the Grapplemax Open Weight Championship.
For sure. Wait, before we go on to that match, I want to ask your opinion, bro. Which one is a nicer tag team name, bro?
Ah.
The Stylish Duo or Chips Ahoy?
What the? Wait, those are the two options, really?
Yeah, because I put them on the spot during the interview. I asked them, and these were the two things that they came up with. So
I mean,
let's do a poll right here.
Yeah, I would say Chips Ahoy just because it's more catchy. Like Stylish Duo is just kind of like meh. It's just, meh, right? But Chips Ahoy, you just need to tell the story of why the team is called Chips Ahoy. What has it got to do with cookies? Do they love cookies?
Bro, think of it that way. Because their gear already like pirate gear, a bit like One Piece already. They got a One Piece cosplay. And then while they were doing the interview, Christian was munching on some chips. So maybe their whole character can be chips-loving pirates.
Chip-loving pirates. All right, we'll go with that. I think they can come up with a better name, though. We'll wait and see. But all right, let's talk about the main event, bro. I'm excited. Tell me about Big Dave and Remus.
All right, so for context, a year ago, this time last year actually, when they had like one of their first, I think they had the Grapplemax openweight tournament, right?
Yeah.
The finalist was essentially these two again. It was Remus, it was Dave fighting for the right to be the champion, right? And of course, Dave in this 1 year has proven to be a worthy champion. Remus put on a great fight. At that point, he was kind of like a heel in that scenario, but he just fell short. But in that match, his resilience, Remus's fighting spirit, I think shone through to the point that even though Dave was crowned a champion, I think Remus won a lot of fans. Because remember, that was the period where he was finally debuting his moonsault, right?
Yeah.
So he finally got to pull off that moonsault, and then people were like, okay, very, very underappreciated, very, very underrated, but a lot of respect for Remus. As he always reminds me, he was also one of the first founding members of Grapplemax, so people don't sleep on him because of that. Yeah, so coming to this match again, incredible promo. We love you, Remus, but that one scene in that package where you were meditating in the waterfall and the transition into a very cool shot of you in the mask in the ring. That was cool, but the crowd was laughing.
Oh, what?
The crowd was laughing. The crowd was like, why is this guy meditating in the water?
Hey, bro. That's his gimmick. Respect the gimmick, bro.
Yeah, taking the match seriously.
That was on the Titantron or what? Like the
that was
video.
The package that was played on the projector.
Oh, before the match, lah.
Before the match, yeah.
Okay.
So the crowd was laughing, yeah, sure. But I felt like it's almost as if there's this desperation within Remus. It's almost like, I gotta win, right? I really gotta prove myself. It's like a year of coming back from the brink of defeat, trying to rise back up to contention all over again. So much credit to him for going back on that redemption journey, right? But what was very, very interesting was Dave's promo, right?
Okay.
So Dave sat down in the middle of the ring, cut a promo, talk about how he was the champion, how he has been lacking respect because he's been beating everyone that's been put in front of him. But it feels like, like the company is taking him for granted because he put the company on his back. He's done everything that's asked of him, but he feels like, what else is next? He feels almost as if the championship is beneath him at this point.
It smells like a heel turn, yeah?
Oh, it doesn't smell, bro. It stinks of a heel turn. Yeah, so I didn't know. Maybe there were seeds planted maybe from the previous show, some of the shows before that. Even the match with YC, like did he show heel tendencies during that match when you were there?
Why I wasn't there for the YC match.
The match that you had, the one where they had the awesome studio.
Was that against YC? I don't think it was. I believe YC challenged him there.
Oh, YC challenged him there, but in the match itself was against what? I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but
it was a while ago.
But the point is, like, I think as Dave
no, that
said
was DJ Cal. That was DJ Cal's quote unquote send-off match.
Send-off match against Dave?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think in that scenario too, like he can't really go full on heel because it was for they were showing respect to DJ Cal at the end of that match as well.
Yeah. But apparently, as what Dave mentioned or alluded to, like they were dropping seeds in the previous matches that he was kind of being more of like a bully. Even he was a ring general, transitioned to more of like a bully or in the ring. Yeah, but then when the match ended, he was still having his babyface persona. So I miss all these subtleties, but I think as if you're a long time Grapplemax supporter who goes to the shows regularly, you can pick out on it, you can appreciate it better. Yeah. So so I felt like going to the match, we already know who we should technically support, right? It should be Remus against Dave. And again, we know that it's a battle of styles. It's a high flyer with a lot of heart against, like, again, I mentioned, like a ring general, an expert in his craft in Dave. And the crowd was silent for a lot of the matches because I think the brutality of the match made people a bit of uncomfortable. Like, Dave was beating the shit out of Remus a lot of times. And he was mocking the waterfall scene, bro. He was like, you think you see at the waterfall you can beat me? So like everyone's like, oh, come on. I know we were laughing, but that was low. Come on, you know.
Right.
There was a couple of times I think Remus tried to pull off the moonsault, but Dave kept evading it or countering it or kicking out. Yeah, so it felt like a very epic struggle in a sense.
Duvaralty says that the YC match ended with people blaming Dave for YC getting hurt. Oh.
Ooh,
So that's how
YC was hurt, is it?
Well, I don't know if it's like work hurt or shoot hurt, but I'm guessing it's work hurt.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll save you the details of how the match went. It was a great ebb and flow. When the match comes up, please watch it. But generally, Remus finally pulled off the freaking moonsault.
Yeah.
And he was about to get the victory. And when Dave kicked out, Dave was like pummeling him at the corner. He was like clothesline after clothesline after clothesline. But this Remus keeps not giving up. Like he literally give him the middle finger, bro. He's like, oh, fuck off, fuck you, you know. Give me more, that kind of shit. And I think Dave finally had enough. Dave, instead of doing his like usual power slam or like brain buster and all that, he did all those things, but he got kicked out.
Yeah.
Dave essentially choked him out to finish off the match. So he didn't tap out. He just fainted.
What kind of choke? Like rear naked?
Yeah, rear naked choke, and then just a full on sleeper hole.
Nice.
Yeah, just old school.
To give Remus that sort of like he never quit vibe.
And Remus selling was great because I think he got freaking mucus or saliva just fucking dripping down his face.
Right.
He was selling it, bro. He was really selling it. So
Joseph said that Dave said, "Don't you know water puts out fire?"
Oh yeah. He was having a lot of fire water jokes also.
Oh dear God, hilarious.
Yeah, so he was trash talking throughout the course of the match, which I think the crowd was like, "Oh, okay, I know where this is going." Again, so Remus lost. Dave retained, but that wasn't enough for Dave. Dave had to send a message. So this guy rolled out of the ring, took a chair, and proceeded to chair shot the living daylights out of Remus.
Oh
right?
Boy, yeah.
But who came to the rescue?
I mean, it has to be his inglorious teammates, so it's either N-Boss or Hotshot.
Well, it's the young hotshot, the young upstart
Wilson
himself.
Yeah.
So great logical storytelling, right? Of course, you bring out the tag team partner to kind of defend Remus's honor, and Wilson. I think they're trying to, correct me if I'm wrong, people from Grapplemax. I feel like you're trying to kind of craft Wilson into like the next ace, perhaps.
Sure.
Because Wilson came and saved the day. Wilson challenged Dave for the title at the 7th anniversary. Yeah. And Wilson was actually the one that led the rah-rah at the end of the show where he's the We Are Grapplemax. It was Wilson that was doing it. So
right. Okay, that makes sense.
Could we be seeing a new young champion being crowned at 7th anniversry?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Man, I wish I were there, but for the 7th anniversary, I'm definitely gonna, be there. It's when is it? It's November 1.
November 11, right?
11, right?
Wrong. Let me confirm.
No, let me scroll. Yes, November the 11th, the Grapplemax 7th anniversary. Definitely gonna try to be there. I don't know if tickets are still available. Please let us know. But I actually have the match card. Oh, before we get to that though, you had your little run-in with Big Dave as well, didn't you, Foreign?
Oh, of course.
Oh,
please,
my God.
If you want to know how much of a dick he is right now, how much of a heel he is right now, please watch this video.
Alright guys, our final interviewee today, he had a lot of things to say, and we can see from his actions today that he got a lot of things on his mind. the current Grapplemax openweight champion? I don't want to make any mistakes right here. Dave.
Current grapple weight champion. Do you even English? Huh? You speak English? You're Singaporean, right?
Yes.
You learn English in secondary school, right? Then why can't you speak English? Why? Answer me. I don't care about your answer. Okay? Yeah, I've got a lot of things to say, right? You not see the injustice that happened just now, right? Ramus came looking for a fight. I gave him a fight. It's that little cockroach that just won't die. I smashed the cockroach. You like cockroaches? No. I don't care, right? I smashed him. Then Wilson comes in, and then he says that I'm whining. I'm whining? Why are you nodding your head? You're not a great interviewer, shut up. Okay? For all of you hypocrites out there, okay? If it was you guys, you would have stepped over anyone just to get to the top.
Well, there you have it. Our Grapplemax openweight champion, Dave. And of course, actually, I want to ask one last question if you could afford me the time.
I got too angry.
Yes, I understand. No worries. Well, Inglorious, you beat 1/3 of him, of the group, I guess.
I beat all of them already.
Yeah, technically you have beaten N-Boss.
Yeah.
And now you have Wilson on your sides right now. Tell me, how confident are you going into the 7th anniversary show?
I guess there's only one way to find out, guys. Buy your tickets, come down to 7th anniversary and see me beat the crap out of Hotshot Wilson. And this time, he's not going to walk out on his own 2 legs. And if you continue to make mistakes to piss me off, you are not going to walk out on your own 2 legs. You get me?
Yes, boss.
Great. Nice jacket.
Thanks.
I like it.
Cheers. All right, there you go.
So, bro, I have to ask you, how does it feel like being the Kevin Kelly in this situation?
You know what's the best part, bro?
What?
My girlfriend was filming the whole thing, bro.
Was she laughing? Because I was like, oh my god, my bro. Getting abused by Big Dave.
Poor foreign.
Oh.
But it's okay, but in the interest of pushing storylines, I shall gladly be the ass in the situation. Some people forget that Foreign has a great one, in Grapplemax.
Wait, hold on. Are you throwing the gauntlet down?
No
Is
lah,
that
no
a
lah.
challenge?
We got time. Hungry, bro. No. But I think clearly Dave is a natural heel, so he's back where he belongs, lah. So.
Look, like it's it was great that he was sort of the figurehead. I think you needed him, someone of that stature with the history, the lineage, and one of the OGs lah, to be their first openweight champion, right? You had to have the guy, and he. Not like as the figurehead, he had to be sort of that babyface, smiling, fighting spirit guy. But now that sort of now you got other challenges. Now you're sort of putting him in that position where he can be that full-fledged heel. I mean, that was hilarious stuff, lah. I enjoyed the shit out of that.
Bro, make that shit viral, bro. This abuse.
Abuse foreigner.
Yeah. But again, I would say overall it makes sense. It makes sense where they're pushing the stories. And also it helps to create new stars in the sense that it establishes Wilson as the number 1 guy to take. I mean, you gotta have the big bad heel. I think every promotion needs the big bad heel.
Yeah,
that's the only way a Roman Reigns will make everyone orbit around him.
It's
be a worthy challenger.
It's also interesting though that like you've seen the entire Inglorious faction sort of one by one turn face. It's like each individual member turn face
exactly
at different moments, because like as far back as or as recently as, I don't know about Rolling because I wasn't there, right? But as recent as Settle Outside, they were still heels.
Yeah, and you know what's the best part? We called it last time back in 2019 when Smart Dave was the heel and Greg Glorious was the babyface, and they had that feud, right?
Yeah.
And then they switched. And then remember we said, like, you know what? Maybe Greg can be better as like a heel character.
Yeah.
And what if Dave actually can be like the heart and soul of the company and become the babyface? So they had a full one cycle babyface heel run, and then now they're going back to their previous previous dispositions, which is pretty cool as well if you're a long-time fan.
But this time it's Dave versus Wilson. It's no longer Dave versus Greg, which, I mean, you're evolving the business, right? That's great. Very quickly, so like I said, I wish I could have been there. I will definitely try to make it down for November the 11th, 7th anniversary. I have the card in front of me that was sent to us by Greg, by the way. The new Taiwan Entertainment Wrestling Championship will be defended. Wow. I should have when I was in Taiwan. I should have searched up some Taiwanese wrestling lah. But okay lah, it's my holiday with my wife, so cannot lah.
Cannot push your luck, bro.
Yeah, cannot push my luck. But I guess the assumption is then there will be like Taiwanese wrestlers coming down to Grapplemax's 7th anniversary. That's going to be very interesting.
Nice. And are they against our tag team?
I don't know yet. It's the championship that's going to be defended, so it might be a singles match, something like that. We'll have to wait and see. Sarah and Christian, like we mentioned earlier, Chips Ahoy, maybe that's going to be their name, but they are going up against Ban and TJ.
TJ is back. Awesome.
Yes.
All right.
So there you go. As you alluded to earlier, now you have like sort of mixed tag, but the women can wrestle the women, the men can wrestle the men.
Okay, good for them. I'm looking forward. I mean, TJ is great. We've seen her in the ring as well. So it's gonna be fun.
Jason says he wants a Dave squash match over foreign for kayfabe purposes. I don't think. Okay, this card is quite stacked already. No time for a squash match with foreign, bro. Sorry,
Dave. If Dave is listening, you got a fan from Brunei who wants to see me get my ass kicked.
There you go.
You'll make that happen, and pay me to take a loss.
Oh boy. Aussie versus Team New Taiwan. So there will be a sort of Grapplemax versus New Taiwan match as well, a tag team match. Very nice. This is why I'm low-key super looking forward to, because I'm very impressed with our former Oppa, right, that we've had on the show as well. Jordan versus Dick Togo for the Wrestle Square Cruiserweight Championship. Hang on.
This could go really, really well, or it could end really, really badly.
Hold on. Is Dick Togo a cruiserweight?
Bro, he is a cruiserweight like how Crash Holly is 500 pounds, bro.
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Right. Okay, there you go. And then the main event, Big Dave versus Hotshot Wilson, like we alluded to earlier, the Grapplemax Openweight Championship.
It's going to be a stacked card. I mean, whatever we saw on Amplify was a great preview. I mean, it was a great standalone card on its own, but best thing about Grapplemax, I think they continue storylines, and you there's things to look forward to and to keep you coming back for sure.
Is this the final event of the year for Grapplemax?
I believe so.
Like it.
Anniversary show is usually the final event. They'll probably take the December down off, right? If I believe.
I guess so. NTW title will also be inter-promotional. Okay, there you go. So it'll be Grapplemax versus New Taiwan as well. Nice. I like it. Things are shaping up,
bro. And it's not just Grapplemax, man. Local wrestling is shaping up because in November, SPW has Callisto coming to Singapore as well. So
that's correct. So that's going to be another one. Oh, there's another event December the 23rd for Grapplemax apparently.
Is it a Christmas event? Is it a Christmas event?
Wait, really? 2 days before Christmas?
Oh dear, that's gonna be fun.
Nice. Okay, so somebody better dress up as Santa and get power slam, or maybe Santa can power slam somebody. Every month a show. Holy crap, you guys are raising the bar. Okay, you know what? With the facility, with the filming capabilities, I believe in you guys, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, guys, please put on better shows than AEW, please.
That one not hard, bro.
You're really putting on more shows than AEW, so can.
Yeah, the Grapplemax shows have more audience than AEW at this point when they film Collision and Rampage. Oh my god, we had to slip in those jabs. But yeah, okay, so once again, if you haven't gotten your tickets for the next show, the 7th anniversary, go get it already, and we'll see y'all soon. Oh yeah, that's right. Wait, the November 11th is Deepavali Eve.
Is Deepavali on the 3rd of November or 11th of November?
It is 12th. It's the 12th of November.
Oh, so it's a Deepavali show. Ooh.
Yeah, Monday is a holiday. Woo!
Please give Prabhu the win then.
So random. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the other things we want to talk about. Very quickly, like I mentioned, I haven't been watching too much wrestling lately, right? Because I've been away. But what I've watched is all via social media. So I've become that casual. For the past 2 weeks, bro, you have to treat me like a filthy casual. I've only seen wrestling through 1-minute clips on Instagram and TikTok. So tell me about Nick Aldis showing up on SmackDown. Nick Aldis, formerly a NWA guy.
Correct.
And who else is also a former NWA champion?
Cody Rhodes.
Well, other than Cody Rhodes, the GM that he's going up against.
Oh, Adam Pearce.
Yes, Johnny Sins lookalike, Adam Pearce. So that was the first thing I thought, like, what are these two NWA guys doing? I mean, obviously they've been in other federations, but that was the immediate connection I made.
Okay.
Then I was like, oh, Nick Aldis is the new GM of SmackDown.
Yeah, bro, don't be too hard on yourself because I think most people these days watch wrestling through social media only.
Yeah, that's true.
And they can still follow the storyline. So please don't be too hard on yourself.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, I don't expect most people to know that link, right? So to most people, I would say that Nick Aldis is just a new guy. Don't know who he is, come from them, but he looks jacked lah.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Nick Aldis is, unfortunately, he's really a victim of being a big fish in a little pond. Right?
Okay, yeah.
In most of his careers, because he was a big star in Impact. He was a TNA.
Wow, next year only 2024. Then they rebrand.
Next year only. Yeah, he was a big star in Impact. He was a big star in NWA. He was really the top champion in NWA with Billy Corgan.
Yeah.
But he's never been in the major two promotions, whether it's WWE, whether it's AEW. Interestingly, bro, he actually decided against AEW because he didn't know whether he would fit in with the people there.
Right. I mean,
a man after your own silk.
Well, it's not even about that, right? He probably has, feelers within both locker rooms. He's probably asking people, probably talk to Cody. Cody was like, yeah, bro, don't go there. It's a shit show over there, TK doesn't know what he's doing. And no, Haley, we are not afraid of TK watching. He's too busy celebrating his birthday and crying over, just the ridiculous tweets. He's too busy tweeting to listen to us.
Oh my God, Mr. Young, you missed all his tweets. I mean, you probably saw his tweets.
No, I saw. That's the thing. I saw all his tweets because I was on social media and then people were making fun of his tweets.
It's crazy, okay. But another thing, Nick Aldis also is the husband of Mickey James, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
I mean, he always had that connection to WWE if he chooses to do it. And he's been around the block, but this guy is only 35, 36 years old.
So that was the
not
thing.
that old.
That's why I was very curious because I know him by name, but I've never really followed his career, right?
Yep.
So he comes in as a GM, automatically I assume, maybe he's older already, maybe he's on the downward trajectory as it relates to his career. Then I Googled him, I Wikipedia him, this fella 30 plus only, right? He's younger than LA, like Jason says, he's younger than LA Knight and Damian Priest. So it's interesting that he's coming in as a GM and he's already doing backstage producing as well for them, right?
Yeah, so when he was initially hired, he was on a trial run as a producer and an agent. So I believe he's doing that as well as his GM role. I'm not sure whether maybe, right, Mr. Young, this is another way to transition or introduce a wrestler into WWE. Instead of going through the WWE, immediately debut him as a wrestler route.
Right.
Maybe suck him in, get the fans familiar with him as a GM, and then pull the trigger on
then finally one day he takes off his shirt and people are like, we didn't know. We didn't realize. We always thought you were just a head in a suit.
But if you know, you know, right?
Yeah. No, I wonder if this is the case, and I've seen this many times in the media industry because I work in the media industry, right?
Yep.
People come in and take off-camera roles, off-air roles. I've seen this happen many times, but they actually want to be on air, so they use this as a foot in the door in the big company. Yeah,
correct.
And then they slowly make friends, work their way up, show their worth. I think maybe this might be the case because, like I said, he's only in his mid-30s, so he definitely has a lot of ways to go in terms of, and we all from what we've seen, he can talk lah, right?
Thinking back, do you like this move?
I do. It's different. If anything, it's different because when was the last time that has happened? GMs have always been traditionally retired wrestlers.
Yeah. I mean, we've had that
managers,
situation where Johnny Nitro was introduced as the assistant to Eric Bischoff. Then he eventually became a wrestler, right?
Yeah. But that one's assistant. That was the point all along, right? He's there to be an enforcer or an assistant, and he's actually a wrestler.
Yeah, I agree. I agree that it's a left field move. I just feel bad because when he was introduced, right, there wasn't a pop for him. And the crowd really didn't know who he was.
NWA. But that's fine. I think that's okay. And I think they realize this as well. They realize that, he was really a big fish, little pond. Pop might not be there for him when he comes in. So instead of debuting him as a wrestler, he might be way too veteran to go to NXT already at this point, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, let's get him over as GM first. Then he becomes a wrestler. So yeah, I see where they're going with this.
Yeah, I don't hate the move, and as we alluded to in the title of this podcast as well, we are seeing the start or the return of the GM wars heading through Crown Jewel into Survivor Series, which is pretty dope.
It's great timing because sometimes you need that. Survivor Series is a cool gimmick, but it's even better when it has a storyline. Remember when NXT invaded, right? Coming off of the Crown Jewel and that whole issue where they couldn't get back in time.
You know what's funny? I think, right, they can actually almost even explain away the lack of respect for the brand split by bringing the GM back. You see, all this while, they had the brand split, the draft, but then they fuck care, right? They just go between shows, right? But maybe they can explain in such a way like, oh, there was a brand split, but there wasn't an authority figure holding it down. It was like Adam Pearce trying to manage a situation he couldn't. So now that he's only has to worry about Raw, and Triple H brings in Nick Aldis, now they can be clearer. Because essentially what happened last week on SmackDown, right? Where Nick Aldis kicked out Jay and Adam Pearce from the ring. Now they're saying that, okay, we're going to be, maybe they're going to respect the brand split better right now.
Yeah, they're enforcing these brand splits, like you're not supposed to be here. And, creating the animosity, driving the storylines towards Survivor Series. So there is a reason for Raw versus SmackDown, right? I like it. I generally, think that when you have feuding GMs, it's always a fun time. And they are neither heel nor face. And that's the thing with like the evil authority figure. For the longest time, because Vince McMahon was so infamous as the evil boss, right?
Yep.
Don't you feel like it has inadvertently created this situation where you associate the company with heel?
It became a trope.
It became a trope. And also, but not in a... So that's what gave rise to the whole AEW movement. In that, I mean, obviously everyone has always wanted an alternative, right? But in a way, aren't you painting your own company as bad guys?
Yeah, exactly. Like you just inevitably become the bad guy by default, right?
So that's why a lot of wrestling fans always look at WWE as the big evil corporate empire, because for how many years they portrayed themselves as that, because that was the storyline, right?
Yeah, I get it. Well, I feel like I think they have an opportunity to write themselves, especially now you have two GMs, right? One can play the heel, one can play the babyface.
Yep.
But then they can still be a babyface in their respective show. I think there's a lot of possibilities for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And I mean, you think back, okay, some of the best times were what? Eric Bischoff versus Stephanie McMahon, right?
Yep.
Holla Holla, Teddy Long.
Teddy Long.
Wait, who did Teddy Long feud with? Not really.
Teddy Long was around with when Eric was around, but Eric he lasted way longer.
Okay. Did Teddy versus Eric. And you had just so many different permutations of GM, Raw GM versus SmackDown GM.
Yeah. I would dare say even a few years ago, I thought like Sonya Deville was a great GM.
Yeah.
But
with Johnny Sins. Yeah,
with Johnny Sins as well. Who can forget Mike Adam Lee, bro?
I think we should all forget Mike Adam Lee.
But I mean, when I grew up, I loved the fact that there was a GM running the show. So hopefully, as what Nick Aldis says, welcome to middle management. So now we have middle management in place to ensure things go well. So good for them.
Yeah, I like it. I like the return of the feuding GMs. And if anything, even if they abandon this idea, it is a setup for Survivor Series, quite obviously.
Yeah, at least we'll have Survivor Series to enjoy, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, next show we'll be previewing Crown Jewel is coming up very quickly.
Yes, Crown Jewel is actually next weekend, I believe.
The
first weekend of November. So we'll save our preview of Crown Jewel for next Tuesday's podcast. But just very quickly, your thoughts, bro. How do you feel about LA Knight finally going into the main event scene, finally coming face to face with Roman Reigns, bro?
Didn't we call it last week? We can't. Not last week, the week before, where LA Knight will get his shot at Crown Jewel, but he will not win due to shenanigans, and the shenanigans leads to Survivor Series.
Bro, we are like, we got the Oracle, the
magic ball.
I'm
secretly on the writing team, bro. No. Here's the thing. Like, it's sort of like we've talked about it before. Sometimes the most logical conclusion isn't necessarily the worst, right? Like you don't have to swerve for swerve's sake. Not talking about Strickland, but obviously, LA Knight, yes, he's getting the monster pops, but he's not going to take the title off of Roman Reigns now.
Nah.
Right?
But he has an opportunity to make such a big impression, to
Yeah.
prove himself that he can have. Because to be honest, he really looks like a star.
Yeah.
Even in a ring with Roman Reigns, Bloodline, and John Cena, he felt like he could hold his own.
Yeah. So if anything, I think this will be the match where Roman tries to put him over as much as possible. But again, the dastardly Bloodline, they stick their nose into the business again.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, maybe maybe they can do this thing where his teammates for Survivor Series try to save him.
Maybe.
Whatever. But they screwed up as well. So they cost him the victory.
How about that shot with Roman Reigns in LA Knight sunglasses? How epic was that shot? Do you see it?
Right, yeah. I wonder if they sort of like, okay, let's do this. This is a cool shot. They set it up, or was it totally by accident? Because it is a badass shot.
Either way, it was. That's the kind of shots that you put in a like a promo package before the match, and you play My Way over it.
Yeah. Like boom, and they zoom in real quick, like a fast ramp in, right? And then you see Roman in his glasses. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I just don't expect LA Knight to win. And if he does win the title at Crown Jewel, I'll be very surprised, but it's not happening lah.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, I feel Crown Jewel will always live up. So far, to be honest, Crown Jewel has been living up to its name in terms of it's been a spectacular event for at least 3 years really. So Saudi Arabia, I mean they're really pulling in the big guns for that show over there.
What's interesting too is that, and I know some of the wrestling news outlets have made a story out of it, but they are also running a separate show, a house show, on the same day as Crown Jewel.
Okay.
And the funny thing is the angle that a lot of these dirt sheets take. They're like, they don't take Crown Jewel seriously anymore. Endeavor doesn't I'm like, bro, they're just doing more shows. They have a big enough roster that they can. So in the house show, but dirt sheets, they need to find an angle, the hooks to get people to click, and it's clickbait title . So I would not see too much into that.
Well, as a technically a dirt sheet writer in a way,
journalist.
Journalist. I will call myself a journalist, because I try to respect the craft.
Yeah.
They care about clicks lah. They don't really care.
Yeah.
Sometimes they will say the weirdest lies on this title, but like for example, wrestler drops huge bomb on the truth behind his matchup, but it's actually just like one quote.
Yeah.
It's things that you can pull off from watching a podcast or listening to a podcast.
Yeah, it is absolute true clickbait. Bro, they're just doing a separate show. And yes, the roster is big enough that they can afford to. It's not as if Crown Jewel doesn't have all the big names. They have Roman Reigns. They have Logan Paul probably. Do they? I'm not sure.
Yeah, they do. Logan Paul is confirmed to challenge Rey Mysterio for the US title.
Right. There you go. So they already have the big names. Sure, Becky won't be there because Becky will be at this other US show. I believe Gunther has an Intercontinental title match at this other show. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's fine. But again, we'll save most of our comments for Crown Jewel for next week. Anything about AEW you want to talk about? The ones that you missed, bro, from this last week?
I don't know. Maybe it's the algorithm. The algorithm knows I dislike the product. I didn't see anything that caught my eye except for the last thing that we're going to talk about, Sting announcing his retirement sometime in 2024 at the Revolution pay-per-view, right?
Yes, correct. This is huge news, but it wasn't unexpected news. I think we really should put out hints that he wants to retire soon.
Do you think they purposely made him do the announcement the week that they return to their regular time slot after getting the smack laid down on them by NXT? To be fair, it was NXT with John Cena, with Undertaker, and etc. etc. And of course, I mean, we can very briefly touch on the salty tweets by Tony Khan. Talking about them not crossing 1 million. I'm like, bro, they're not even wrestling. They're not wrestling each other. They're just showing up.
Yeah, and Undertaker showed up based on a gong.
Yeah.
If you missed it, you wouldn't know he was going to come.
Exactly. It's not like, big promo, Undertaker returns to the WWE. It was just literally one gong, right?
Yeah. Well, it's almost like a good thing that you missed out on that whole week of the reviewing the war.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, it wasn't really a war. It was just like it was one company flexing their muscle, another company trying desperately to come across as like a worthy contender, and then their boss throwing a hissy fit when
Yeah.
people didn't like it. So
See, here's the thing, like,
Yeah.
them losing in the ratings is not as big an issue, I think, as, and I'm going to come to their defense here, I suppose, right? So obviously, yes, we talked about how the WWE surely will need to do something to counter program. Like,
Yeah.
that's right? But him going on social media and just being a brat about it, I think it just makes, like, you never see Vince McMahon do that. I'm not saying Vince McMahon is some sort of an angel. He's obviously not, right? But like, you can't be going on social media and talking to everybody, replying everybody, and acting like a child just because, something didn't go your way.
it's basically the same thing Elon Musk does, lah. But the problem with Elon Musk, I think, has proven that he, like he's very bulletproof in whatever
Yeah.
he says, right?
Yeah,
He can be a dick and like no one cares. But I think TK still needs the good graces of the wrestling fans.
But
He needs the wrestlers to appreciate him. So that's why he's trying so hard to
Yeah,
come across
yeah.
as the good guy.
but he comes across as desperate and whiny now.
Yeah. So now you understand why girls don't like guys who are too desperate. You all understand, huh? Don't try too hard for that girl because they'll get turned off if you act like TK. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, right? So, and then, of course, compounding that is all these screenshots, all these, not screenshots, but audience photos from, AEW events, Collision, tapings, where there's basically nobody there. And Edge is standing in the ring. Adam is standing in the ring. And it's like 2 rows of people in the front only. It's like, oh my God, what is going on? I'm sure Adam at this point is going, what have I done? Right?
Well, the thing is, right, Edge runs from both sides of the stage to
Yeah.
interact with the fans. But I think in AEW, he only go one side of the stage only.
Yeah, because
He
there's
don't
like not
bother.
nobody. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's having buyer's remorse right now. But okay, let's get back onto track right here.
Sting.
And I feel bad also for Sting. Because, hopefully his retirement match will be at a pay-per-view. It will be sold out, hopefully.
Yeah.
It will not be a case of like Collision where there's nobody watching, right? But here's the thing. I'm trying so hard to think of who his retirement match should be, and I can only think of one person.
Of course.
Let's see if we are aligned on this.
Okay.
On the count of 2, 3.
Yeah. 3.
Darby
Darby Allin.
Okay, there you go. We are.
Yeah.
It has to be, right? There's literally no other person that makes sense. You're not going to bring back his old compatriots. Definitely not
Muto.
Ric Flair. Definitely.
Keiji Muto.
No, not Keiji Muto. Definitely not Ric Flair, because Ric Flair probably wants to.
Oh dear. Anytime he can go back to the ring, he probably will.
Yeah, but please do not, for the sake of all your fans and yourself, please do not come back and wrestle.
No lah. I it's definitely gotta be. Yeah, I think that's his whole purpose in AEW all along.
Yeah.
It's just to build up Darby Allin to the point that he can stand on his own, and that's what it is, right? But the problem I feel about this match is Darby is pretty cold right now.
Yeah.
So either they need to build up Darby back to a point where it feels like a big deal,
Yeah.
or they really surprise and swerve everyone and turns Darby heel on Sting.
I honestly see this more of a respect match versus a
Okay.
heel versus face match. I do. Yeah. And talking about who's cold, Sting is also kind of cold. He's been involved in some of the Edge stuff. Maybe it's against Edge.
Would be cool. He's never had a match with Edge.
Right.
Yeah. Well, but I think Edge and Christian Cage needs to have that blow off match somewhere along the line.
Sure.
It probably would be, if it's not full gear, then I don't know whether they can stretch it all the way out to Revolution, but maybe Revolution is where they're gonna have the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Sting is amazing, and sometimes you forget this guy is 60 plus years old, man. I mean, maybe it's the face mask. The face mask protects his face, lah.
Yeah.
That's his age.
Yeah, the face paint covers all the wrinkles. Yeah. I mean, look, we've seen him jump off stuff. I really hope that he doesn't need to do all that kind of stuff, But
Yeah.
against Darby Allin, he might, because, it's Darby, right? So, okay, that being said, I don't have that strong a connection to Sting as a wrestler because he was largely a WCW guy
WCW
most
guy,
of his
yeah.
career, right? He was never a WWE guy except for that one short stint, which, didn't end very well. The first thing I thought of when he announced the retirement match, what was the first thing?
What?
He retires in AEW, takes a break, and comes back to WWE and has a retirement match against some
my
proper
God.
fella. I don't know why that was the first thing I thought of. Like, get out of that contract and go. I
just
don't
want
know,
to
man.
see Undertaker and Sting in the ring. They don't even have to fight. Just in their full gear,
Right.
look at each other, and that's it.
Shake hands, lights go out, whatever, right? Like leave
Just
it at that.
just something lah. Just something lah.
Yeah. Really? Okay. Who else do you see him having this match against?
Nothing. No one.
Really?
No one is big enough, or no one
Chat.
is important enough.
Chat, jump in, okay? Like that was the whole point of like one of the key topics that we wanted to breach today. And for the life of me, I can't think of anybody else that would make sense for him to fight in his retirement match. That would
Yeah.
make logical sense.
Yeah. Well, is that the only thing that's worthwhile in AEW right now? Because right now I feel like they're trying to build up Jay White for MJF's title. They're trying to build up Bullet Club Gold. But I just have such a sour taste in my mouth from how everything went down with CM Punk.
Same.
I still try to watch Collision when I can, but I don't get the excitement that feel like that reassurance that Collision will be a different show, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, at this point, Collision is pretty much
Rampage.
Dynamite's third. Not as bad as Rampage lah right now. They do have like Bryan Danielson, your Claudios and whatnot there, right?
Yeah. So they've leaned on Bryan Danielson to be the number one like guy, and then they have Ricky Starks, Big Bill, which is still decent. They still have FTR. Now they're getting Adam Copeland to slide in and replace the CM Punk figurehead. But I don't know. Again, I think we probably had this conversation a few times in the previous episodes. Adam Copeland was never the top star in any company.
Yeah.
Top heel maybe, but never the top number one guy, because there's always a John Cena there, there's always a Roman Reigns there, there's always whatever. This could be his way to prove himself, but I just feel that he's older than CM Punk.
Yeah.
But if I want to give him a defense, every single one of his segments in AEW's YouTube page has been over 1 million views.
Okay.
So I feel he still has a great crossover fan base from WWE who are watching for him. But I just don't know in the long run. Like again, after a while, Adam felt like just another guy on the WWE roster. It's going to be a better of time in AEW as well.
And that's why WWE didn't have anything for him. And then he probably wanted to do more. He's one of those guys. He always wants to be involved, which is great, right? That's why he went to AEW. But yeah, to our point as well that we've talked about before, like if he's going to become that week in, week out guy, he's going to get old fast. And I'm not talking about his age. I'm talking about his act, you know?
Yeah. So whatever it is about CM Punk, right? He never outstayed his welcome.
Yeah.
Sometimes he always leaves people wanting more.
Maybe that's his whole like gimmick. Like he knows, okay, I'm gonna cause some controversy and F off for a bit and then come back so that, you know, people will always want me. You see, we're trying to think of retirement matches for Sting and we're talking about other people. Bro, what is up with that? Jason says Sting versus Tony Khan for the final match.
Fuck off lah. No lah. Dear God. But other than that, again, maybe Full Gear is happening is November. November is gonna be packed month lah, technically.
Yeah.
But we shall see whether there's anything in Full Gear that really gets the fans going, gets the fans interested. Like people on the chat, just to wrap up today's podcast, what is the most exciting thing about AEW right now? What is the thing that you are watching AEW for? Because I'm also genuinely curious. And I also want to see like whether there is a way out of this lah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to search for when Revolution is going to happen.
Maybe Full Gear as well. We should find out when Full Gear is going to happen.
So March. Revolution is March. Technically we have November, December, January, February. We have 4 months, 4+ months to build something up. So it is not outside the realm of possibility for them to, you know, create a compelling storyline.
Yep.
Chris Jericho.
Possible. Chris Jericho and Sting.
Bryan Danielson. I mean, Bryan Danielson is also on his quote-unquote retirement run.
Yeah. Jason, you're right. Like, I'm watching AEW maybe for Timeless Tony Storm. Christian Cage is amazing in AEW. Like, I gotta be honest. Like everything he does so far is hilarious.
Hold on. Doesn't Sting and Samoa Joe don't they have a history in TNA?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so I mean Samoa Joe is there, right?
Samoa Joe is still doing awesome stuff. Like he's still kind of bounced back. There is that rematch with MJF. So yeah.
Okay, we know Ric Flair is out of the picture, well, hopefully, but his son-in-law works there.
Yes. Oh, Chris, Andrade and Bryan Danielson had a really badass banger match on Collision.
On
Such a
Collision, though. It's exactly, right? Such on
Yeah, such a
Collision.
shame.
Right.
Such a shame it's on Collision, and such a shame we didn't even mention it, but there was Battle of the Belts 4 as well.
Really? I did not even
This
know.
past weekend, yeah.
Bro, they have done such a piss poor job. I mean,
Yeah, they have. It's bad. It's
Like-
terrible.
it's like just another show we have to do. We just do. We don't even promote. It's horrible. HS Lee brings up a good point. For the first time, Christian Cage is more over than Adam Copeland.
It's true. It's the truth.
Could it be Christian versus Sting?
I don't know. Okay, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, if they don't have that blow off match at Full Gear, then you know for a fact it's gonna happen at Revolution. So
Yeah.
I'll put them as KIV lah.
So we really just come back to Darby Allin lah. He's like the most logical, the
most fitting.
Yeah. To let his protege retire him, put him over, whatever. You know what? I would actually like for Sting to win. Go out on top as a as a twist, right? Like Darby goes for one of his crazy suicidal things, and Sting gets out of the way, and he wins like that, right?
I wouldn't mind. I think at the end of the day, Darby will still be a star regardless. But how they end this relationship, they need to have some sort of conflict going into that match lah.
I just look. I mean, it's supposed to be a big deal, right? But I don't feel it. Maybe as we get closer, I'll feel it. But I just, like you said, like it's that sour taste knowing that AEW will probably drop the ball, and even if Sting passes the torch on to Darby Allin, you just know that within 3 months, Darby Allin will be back down to like not meaning anything. Like AEW has done over and over and over again. The buck stops at the buck stops at Tony Khan, and if he doesn't start waking up his idea and letting the veterans book, then it's not going to mean anything.
I can end off with this lah. It's so funny because Vince Russo was the one that gave this quote. It's ironic.
Yeah.
Because he basically say Tony Khan needs to stop making AEW about Tony Khan. Why does he need to put his face in front of everything? Make his wrestlers the stars of the company.
Yeah.
Let the wrestlers conduct the post scrums. Don't let it be a way for Tony Khan to talk. You know?
Yeah.
We need Tony Khan away from our screens for a very, very long time, essentially.
Which is, like you said, it's super ironic that Vince Russo of all people said that.
Yeah, exactly. Until then, it's just gonna struggle. It's gonna have its core audience for sure. People that's gonna enjoy it. I definitely still enjoy certain aspects of AEW here and there, but
what has MJF done that is of note lately?
Well, MJF and is involved in the Bullet Club Gold drama, right?
Okay, so there was some sort of anti-Semitic. I didn't really look into it. I just randomly saw some dirt sheet thing about like, somebody said, was it Juice said something anti-Semitic, and then like it triggered quote unquote MJF, and people were upset about that.
No, Juice basically threatened to beat up MJF with a pair of roll of quarters.
Okay.
Which was he told in his story that he got bullied as a Jewish boy because all the kids threw quarters at him.
Okay.
So they were saying that it's the worst timing to bring up this storyline with what's happening in the world right now.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the issue. But my problem is, right, so now they're gonna have, I think, a match this week on Dynamite where it's for their MGF's Dynamite Diamond Ring. Because Juice had won the number 1 contendership for that. So I do not know whether Juice wins that match, takes the Diamond Ring, and then Jay White takes the title. Whether that's what they're trying to tell, whether that's the story they're trying to go for. But the problem with this is I don't feel Jay White is as charismatic an opponent for MJF as MJF is.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are huge fans of Jay White, but nothing in his current AEW run screams to me main event guy. I'm sorry.
He was a great tag team wrestler. I felt Bullet Club Gold and FTR was doing bangers.
Yeah.
But Jay White on his own, with how they presented him, no, not yet.
Yeah. In fact, we've said this many times. Juice he seems like more of a threat, more of a like, somebody you want to watch, especially on the mic, than Jay White. But it is what it is, lah.
Yeah, I rather have Samoa Joe come back and just have that rematch, man. Like Samoa Joe and MJ still felt like a big deal.
It felt like such a like, you know.
Too short.
Oh, by the way, a slight diversion, but we're back to whatever nonsense that they have. And it was such a waste.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, Adam Cole being out injured. So, like, they had two of like their biggest storylines going to All In.
Yeah.
MJF, Adam Cole, CM Punk, blah, blah, blah. Like, all of them are gone. So now they really are like spinning their wheels in a way.
Well, it is what it is. Okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us on the Tuesday. We're back. We'll be back next week again. We will be previewing WWE Crown Jewel.
Yes,
Oh.
for sure.
Jason says Jay White for him in New Japan was also meh, like imposter. Yeah, like I don't know. I think maybe to me he's the sort of guy you have to be in that sort of not Bullet Club, sorry, that Young Bucks.
He needs
camp.
affection. He needs someone to prop him up. He can't be the guy himself. That's it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, that's a great way of putting it. Yeah. When he's without affection or when he's in there by himself on the mic, you realize, oh, he's just kind of
He's tofu lah.
And
Exactly.
with that, we
Yes.
say thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you haven't joined the Discord, feel free. The link is in the description. We got Patreon as well. So if you'd like to take the support for the podcast to the next level, hey, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and we're trying to promote and build up a bit more of our base on TikTok as well. So if you missed the interviews that I did with the Grapplemax fam, I'm going to post it on TikTok soon this week as well. So please follow us there. We try to post more content and we try to cross-pollinate over to Instagram. You know lah, build a social media presence lah.
You know how it goes.
Usuals.
Yeah. All right.
You know how it goes.
We're going to get out of here right now. I got to go to work very soon. It feels good to be back talking about wrestling. I have a lot of wrestling to catch up on, not going to lie. But yeah, we're going to have some fun. All right. As always, it's Mr. Young.
Alex Ford in the building. Have a great week.
Let me see, John.